again. I'm still here on the project, building capacity around my mouth, but I got something to back it up. What do you think? Let's discuss it.
Encore une fidèle qui l'Amérique n'a pas loupé yo. Quand il y a Sylvie, il a quoi qui j'ai vous payé presse. L'Amérique n'a pas loupé. T'as bien de moi avec moi nous en somme on va battre au moins néo. Mon temps dit est à nous ça va bien faire moi dit quoi. Tu là loupé yo. Quand on soit du là. Allez. Envoyez. Battu au là. Yao, abela lokeyo, bibito jobai, bibito noba, artiste mo peyo. Manager Gigi, ouais t'es jamais forcé ou, si tu connais, tu connais. L'animateur Choco Noska Yassin de Toyebi, l'homme a tout fait pour Mivito, Aniché les deux. C'est moi, Dieu. Attends, nous, yon bébé. Pété, y'a mon temps, à nous, bâtio. Mon développé, yo. Well, gagné. Adieu, oh. Dans yon serment de tout, y'a pas yon. Oh, oh, mi. Aussi, d'accord, c'est trop bon. Bébé, mon développé, Amunda weja ogenda o, obati amunda weja ogenda, oskide kozi do na loe. Memo ogenda o, abela we mo. Obe abati o. Si obati o mo ogenda o, mo teri we na tiade. Daliko, ye daliko. Si ye ogenda o.
Ton pied, mon pied.
appelé à le Bayo, la commence à dire l'eau. Les Américains pas l'eau. C'est aussi vraiment encore une autre fidèle qui. Les Américains pas l'eau que nous. Quand il y a Sylvie, il y a quoi qui. J'ai vous fait presse. Les Américains pas l'eau que t'as bien de moi avec moi. En somme, on va battre au moins néo. Mon temps dit est à mon mouille. On s'en bat bien pour moi, il dit quoi. Mais là, le caillou. Quand on soit du loi, allez, envoyez. Bâti au loi. Et là-haut, avec là, le caillou. Vivito Jobay. Vivito Noba. Martissimo caillou. Malanga Didi. Ouais, t'es jamais forcé. Si tu connais, tu connais. L'animateur Choco, Noska Yassin de Toyebi. L'homme a tout fait pour Mivito. Aniché les deux. On doit tirer. Bâtir moi. Conseiller, c'est moi. Dis-moi. Attends, nous, yon bébé. Conseiller, mon temps, nous, bâtir. Appelé à le Bayo, la commence à dire l'eau. Les Américains pas l'eau. C'est aussi vraiment encore une autre fidèle qui. Les Américains pas l'eau que nous. Quand il y a Sylvie, il y a quoi qui. J'ai vous fait presse. Les Américains pas l'eau que t'as bien de moi avec moi. En somme, on va battre au moins néo. Mon temps dit est à mon mouille. On s'en bat bien pour moi, il dit quoi. Mais là, le caillou. Quand on soit du loi, allez, envoyez. Bâti au loi. Et là-haut, avec là, le caillou. Vivito Jobay. Vivito Noba. Martissimo caillou. Malanga Didi. Ouais, t'es jamais forcé. Si tu connais, tu connais. L'animateur Choco, Noska Yassin de Toyebi. L'homme a tout fait pour Mivito. Aniché les deux. On doit tirer. Bâtir moi. Conseiller, c'est moi. Dis-moi. Attends, nous, yon bébé. Conseiller, mon temps, nous, bâtir. On a développé, well, adieu, dans your summer, de Bayo. Oh, lui, parce qu'il est causé trop. Le monde est jogging now, le monde est jogging now. On va tuer le monde est jogging now, parce qu'il est causé trop dans l'eau. Le monde est now, avec la web. Si on m'a dit non, moi je lui vois un petit adé. Daliko, yeah Daliko.
Good evening, folks. Samson to Libra Public Radio. I want to thank all of you again. We're sorry we're a little bit late here, but we're here tonight. I want to thank all of you for tuning into Libra Public Radio. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing to be here with you on this wonderful Wednesday afternoon, Did I say Wednesday? I mean Tuesday afternoon. Thank you for joining us again. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing to have you here as well. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Folks, it's a wonderful thing to be here. Thank you. Thank you. Again, let me do this thing here quick and okay. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Again, folks, Samson to Labrador Radio. I want to thank all of you that tuning in. Please share this video to as many people as possible. It's very important that we share this video to you. Please share this video. Please share it, share it, share it. Safety, safety, Lord Jesus, we want to thank you again this evening. We want to thank you for your blessing. We want to thank you for all that you do for us. My Lord, those of us, anyone that is in pain tonight, we pray to you to comfort them. Whatever pain, yes, whatever pain, we ask that you comfort them. Bring peace to their life. Those of us that know you, we want to thank you again this evening because we know you are the true light. Without you, we see nothing. We can sit down and wear 5 glasses, 5 eyeglasses. We can't see without you. But with you, we don't need glasses. Eye closed, we still see. Thank you for that power. Thank you for you and only you with that kinds of power above us. You are our Father. We're not embarrassed to sit here to announce to the whole world that yes, indeed, we pray to you. We ask you for forgiveness. We come to you for blessing. Thank you. My Lord Jesus, we come again tonight asking to bless the Republic of Liberia. Bless the people of the Republic of Liberia. Bless the President of the Republic of Liberia, President Wakai. Bless his hand. Whatever he touches, my Lord, that yes, indeed, he will be blessed. And whatever he touches will come to pass in the interest of the Liberian. Whatever door he knocks, my Lord, we ask that you open that door in the interest of the Liberian people. Yes, thank you. We say again, we ask that you bless the host country, the United States of America. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And let me see anybody why I would have heard it. But anyhow, so I was going to be reading the speech tonight. It's a lot. You see the plenty book here. Plenty book. But before that, let's talk about this Yaka Kotoba situation that happened today. I need to talk about it. Because those of us that have seen, many people, when we express it, say, oh, it don't mean anything. Liberians know who they are. They're not going anywhere. We don't mean anything. These people are here, and folks, things are shaking up. In the days immediately after the Rest Riot, when the removal of trouble was imminent, market women that used to be afraid were no longer afraid. They used to say on the radio, we sell bitter ball, trouble sell bitter ball. We sell fire coal, trouble sell fire coal. What we're going to do now to get our own money? When things ready to shake up. 1985, we went to Philadelphia for ULA meeting. The people say the only way that country will be safe is to remove Doe by all means necessary. We say if you do that, people will suffer. They didn't believe us. During the war, we were not there, but we heard people were introducing other people to the people, whatever side they're on, purely because of jealousy, purely because of envies. That's Liberia. We're starting again. This president of the Republic of Liberia, under his watch, we must not and we should not degenerate into these kinds of behavior. These kinds of behavior. Yaka Koluba is rude. We all know that. There's no question asked. Yaka Koluba we saw Yaka Koluba insulting the speaker, former speaker, what's his name, Buffett Chima. So he got some fake degree, cuss him up, cuss the president up, former President George Weah. Yaka Koluba is always, when he's being escorted out, it's always putting their hands around his friend who escort him out. Gray and other people threatened to flock him one time, and he said, "Yeah, I am." Nobody puts his hand on Yaka Koluba. The president must take action. I'm not too sure whether he can take action against the House of Representatives, but he must warn these people. These things don't end well. These things do not end well. And we cannot, and we must not allow these kind of thing to happen. We can't do that. Liberia and Liberians all over the world are now trying their best to build Liberia. They're all over trying to build Liberia. Rebuilding, let's put it that way. They're going home with all of the traffic congestion, with all of the mishap, armed robbery and everything. People are still building, living abroad, building. We cannot afford. If we go back that way, to come out is going to be almost impossible. Look at Sudan. Look at Sudan. Look at Somalia. Ethiopia is trying, but it's not quite there yet. It's difficult to get out of these things. God has been with us. We were able to get out. But some of us were not quite. I'm not quite surprised. I'm not quite surprised. Because I knew once men take over, there will be challenge. And this is exactly what it is. If this government cannot put themselves together, they will have themselves to be blamed. President Baka might not want to seek re-election, but these are not behavior of a civilized country. Yaka Koluba, if he's saying something, so Yaka Koluba talk, would that stop you from being a speaker as you claim you are? So if Yaka Koluba says he doesn't recognize you, does that provoke you? Does that something that ties you? Well, if you look at the beginning of that tape, Yaka Koluba is given the opportunity to speak. He said, I don't recognize. Then the people said, he must recognize the speaker. He said, Deputy Speaker. So what is there? What is there? What is there? We cannot and we must not get into this kinds of stuff. It's not suitable for us. It's not suitable for. And yes, the funny thing, according to news, 1,500 Liberians are scheduled to be deported. These are people that are going back to Liberia with no job. Liberia can't throw them in jail. We have to put ourselves in a position that people will be able to respect the rule. You're doing anything? Let me say again, Liberia, let me tell you, those of you that are listening to me, democracy is a bluffing thing. Those of you that know what I mean by bluffing, that's also Huawei. The day the citizen ready to challenge. It has happened before, so you can't say what Mr. Toh talking about. You don't know what he's talking about. You cannot do this. And I will play this here very quickly. And I'll go on to the president's speech. Because the president's speech was supposed to be on today. Look at this. And this is not a beginning. I just blew this from one of the stuff. But this is not a beginning. But I just want you guys to see the action. Because if you go to the beginning, you will condemn this action. if you watch the beginning to this, that leading to this action, you would condemn it to nonsense. Let's go ahead. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Let's go ahead. Yaga Kaloba is being forced out of the chamber. And that chamber, whether it be a city hall or not, it is a chamber for the people house. The men were elected, duly elected, duly elected. No matter whatever behavior you have, duly elected. Man was scared. I scared like church rock. 1980. That money, the only reason why I stepped out 6 o'clock in the 5:30 in the morning because my brother was out there. But I was telling my wife, let's put ourselves on the bed. And then one of the little boys that came from my brother had sent the little boy to my house, sent all 11 of them to my house that night. And he said, well, ain't nothing outside. Where you going? Where you at? He said that the only reason why I was brave to step outside. And as God could have it, as I stepped out, he was coming in as well. I've seen it. These things don't end well. That government, you saw the video. There were people out there, put them outside. You put them outside. There was those who are doing it purely for money. They want the speaker, Richard Kuhn, the left-hand speaker, to put them in a position. This is not, it will not end right. Let me bring Sissy on. Those who are behaving, he hasn't come in yet. Those who are behaving like that, it is unacceptable. This is ridiculous. This is not supposed to be what the rescue train is about. Let me bring in Sissy. So I'm saying to many of you that are listening right now, unacceptable. Whether I support this government or not, this is not the executive marshal. This is not the executive involved. This is the House of Representatives. But the executive have recognized these people as being speaker. Basically from the speech that was given yesterday. From the speech yesterday. Okay? He says here, he said, Mr. Vice President, Mr. Speaker, and member of the House of Representatives. So he has recognized them. Illegally recognized these people. They were not elected. This man was not elected. And the way he came to power, we all Liberians know that this is not the way. And if Yaka Koluba say, I don't recognize you, okay. So the question people ask then, why is he in there? That's the House of Representatives, is it not? Is he not supposed to be in there? Where is he supposed to be? Do the people that elected him do their business from his living room? Unacceptable. These things don't end well. Let me bring in Sister. Sister, good evening. Thank you for joining us.
How you doing, Libra?
Not bad, not bad. What's on your mind? I'm going to be doing this speech, but I'm not quite there yet. I just want to touch on the Yeka Koruba stuff here.
I know, and I'll tell you, but I had to come up because I heard you with your Taba down and Yeka Koruba issue.
Yeah.
I think on the one hand, you're one ring, and on the other hand, you're in one ring. 1 minute you're accusing the president of getting involved illegally in the first branch of government by removing the speaker illegally. On the other hand, the very first branch of government take an action. And let's say for the record that the sergeant at arms do not take orders from the executive. They take orders from the first branch of government, the speaker. So the president did not give the order for Yakuba to be removed. There is an action being taken.
But nobody accused the president.
No, you said the president. You said this is from the beginning. I saw a comment that you said the president should talk. You should tell the people this is not how to behave. The president cannot tell the people that. They have their own rules. They have their rules. And Yeke has been to Supreme Court so many times against the last during the last regime. So many times his right was violated. He went to court and he won. Yeke knows the way to the court. It's not the first time Yeke has been removed from plenary. And as a matter of fact, there are many times where his pay was withheld. And quite recently, I think even during this administration, the Supreme Court ordered that he be paid. So Yeke knows his way to the court. And so to argue here that Yeke's removal by his colleagues from their house is somehow spell something on the executive, that stretches it too hard.
Well, Speaker, I will talk my own. The executive have illegally recognized Speaker. Look, let's be fair here. The president during the speakership election, which was done legally in all playing site, you say were one of those here on this platform arguing that the president would do himself a good job by making sure to campaign for Rachel Kuhn, because why would the president want to pick a CDC speaker that will oppose all of the president, many of the president agenda? And I was on here telling you that this is not what was going to happen, and eventually I won. Now the president of the Republic of Liberia and Rachel Kuhn decided to bring the speakership back to Unity Party through the back door. And now people who against him, because what's his name, Yaka Kolbasi, I don't recognize it, they're telling him he must step outside. Say that you can't have your cake and eat it too.
I think you don't want trying to eat your cake, because when I argue on this platform, I said politically it will do the president well to maintain whoever has been working with him. That doesn't mean you are.
No. You were specific. You want a Unity Party member to be speaker.
Who, me?
Yeah.
When we started talking about
yeah. You wanted Rachel Kuhn. You wanted,
bro, man.
I'm telling you.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay.
Don't do that. Because on several occasions, let me carry you back, because I know you stay vexed because they will remove your friend. But on several occasions, I told you, hold on, liberal, hold on. Because on several occasions, I told you here that I did not endorse Konati Kofa becoming even speaker. I said, but it will do the current administration well to maintain him. I said that several times. And I said this was a political issue and not a legal issue.
I mean the beginning.
That's what I'm telling you. No, but from the beginning, I didn't even know who was running. I didn't even know who was running. When those guys were at the RLJ, they didn't have anybody running. So how would I be endorsing somebody?
I said before Speaker Kofa won the election. That's
before Kofa won the election. You see, here we go again. We still have the tips. Before Kofa won the election, I said everybody that running, including Belete, I said were all thieves. I said none of them was supposed to be. I didn't support one person.
You said that, but you said the president would do good if he can guess. Why would you asked the question? Why would the president want to take somebody outside of the Unity Party?
Mr. Toll, that was not against any one person or for any one person. So don't make that personal to Kofa. Kofa is gone. Your drink alcohol is finished. I told you here that there is no democracy where the executive would not want to have the legislature controlled by them. There's no democracy. Even in America, the president wants to have a speaker by party.
Say, now you speak the truth. There is
Well,
no
but it was
executive.
not for coup.
No, hold on now. There is no executive
No.
according
Let
to
me
you.
finish landing
There's
first
no
before.
executive.
No, hold
There's
on.
no executive according to you.
No.
That we want to. Okay, go
The
ahead.
liberal, you are not diverting the conversation.
I want to hold your word.
Don't divert the conversation. I'm bringing it right back.
Okay.
You said the president illegally recognized Richard Coon. Mind you, the budget that got passed under the Coon gavel is still paying Kofi. Kofi ain't sending money by it. So by accepting that pay, he's accepting the action that was taken under Richard Coon. Even the Yaga Kolba today that refused to recognize Coon is accepting the pay that was passed by the Coon under Coon's gavel. So if he wants to,
what money got to do with this?
But a budget, but it was
you see, budget. You see, because you're living in Minnesota,
budget was legal. Budget was legal.
You and Terry, you're coming to argue with the budget business here.
Let me take you somewhere. Under the Trump's executive order that was passed, one of them that has to do with gender, under subsection F, it talks about the prior administration argued that the Supreme Court decision in Bostock versus Clay County, which addressed the Title VII civil right, that recognized that allow folks to say that to state their gender identity. I can be he, him. I can be they, theirs. He said that the Justice Ministry, under the guidance given by the Attorney General, under President Biden, was not the right interpretation. Therefore, his Attorney General interpretation and guidance is to do the other way around. That tells you that the Justice Minister has the authority to issue guidance based on the way he or she understands the ruling of the Supreme Court. And so when the Justice Minister in Lebron issued his guidance, that's what the president went with. The people ran back to the Supreme Court for bill information. The Supreme Court refused to hear it. They went down to a subordinate court that dismissed it. So you stay here arguing on the legality. The point is, this is done.
Say, Goya, the train is still at the station.
The train going. Kofa cannot be speaker. Kofa is done.
Truthfully, Kofa is not even going to be the speaker. That's not
Kofa cannot be speaker.
At this point, we're not arguing Kofa.
But you're still saying the illegal because the president addressed.
The people.
The joint section was gaveled in by Richard Coon. The president is a guest in that house. He walks in and everybody is sitting, the Senate and the House, they're sitting gavel on a Richard Coon. And
okay. You finish, I'm on tour now. Okay. All right. The other man, Terry King, as soon as I start lumping you out to bed, he run away. He can't buy it. But let me just tell you this, sister. You say here a few minutes ago that it will do a executive a good deal to make sure whatever speaker they had that they're able to control. You said that. Okay. The point here is this. President Waka, because he wants to control the speakership, and therefore he must have the speaker at all costs? No. I say. Let me finish. You got your time. I said no. What's his name? Coon came to the speakership through the back door. Now, you will say, but the executive ain't got nothing to do with it. The way the people elect your speaker, that's fine. That's okay, I agree. But during the conflict, the executive allowed its ministers and the directors to go and sit for the hearing, whatever it is, are the people who were not legally charged with those kinds of responsibility. That's, for me, violation one. The second thing is the president, when the whole issue was going on, he has to stay away from it, because we do know that the separation of power stands in Liberia. But at this time, first of all, that state of the nation, knowing full well that the issue at the Capitol building has not been resolved clearly. That the people who elected Coon, their majority but 28 or almost 30 members of the other side refused to recognize him. Why will you then go say, I'm going, why you can't get the Speaker of the Nation from the executive mansion? Is there in the Constitution anyhow that yes? Okay, if it is part of the Constitution, if it is part, I got it. It is part of the Constitution. But the issue is the House is in disarray. And if the House is in disarray, I believe Liberian will forgive you if that part of the Constitution is violated. To say I will have the state of the nation or from the executive mansion. You are speaking to the Liberians. Mr. Goya, Sissy Goya, I think this is one of those things that we have to agree to strongly disagree. The executive is in the wrong. The executive is doing things that will not be helpful to them. Because when the time comes tomorrow, the executive, because here's the thing here, I'll be honest with you. Frankie Kofa, or what a Speaker Kofa, when he was working with the executive, not one did he go against the executive proposal. So what is the reason that you will allow these kinds of stuff to happen in Liberia as father of the nation? To say Frankie Kofa always rejecting the president proposal, you can't allow the president to do any of the developmental agenda. The man sat there. They brought in $22 million. Frankie Kofa didn't say anything. They went ahead and did it. What else? Frankie Kofa even traveled with the president against some of the advisors from some of the sedition. What else should he have done? I think the president should have stepped up to the plate and say enough is enough. Frankie Kofa is the speaker. If you want to remove, if the executive have taken that line and even contribute to some of the conversation, if you want to remove it, do it the right way. These young people would have listened to him. I rest my case.
I drink small water. Fanatic gone. He finished. Not coming back because he is tactically. He didn't have any tactics. He lacked tactics. He lacked an understanding of what's going on. We said that over and over. He took this thing as partly legal, partly political. They know how to deal with the legal part. They know how to deal with the political part. Talk to the airway. Cast to get the people that you want to vote for him. Forgetting.
Let me bring in the new guy, the JJC from Liberia. He just coming from Liberia. JJC.
Forgetting.
Good evening, Jerry. Thank you for joining us.
Forgetting that he had only 36 people voting for him. Frankie Kofa became speaker with 36 people voting. There were still members of the legislature that were elected that were still in court when that election happened to have him as speaker. He forgot all of that. And so to sit down here and tell me, say, because Frankie Kofa has been nice, so the president must say, oh yeah, the man nice, they're keeping that. They're not here par fun. We're not keeping that because somebody, you are nice today, nice tomorrow. Politics is a game of inches. Jaha, he removed his own man accusing Buffer Chambers, accusing of undermining a re-election so that he, Frankie Kofa, could become speaker. Jaha, he did that, somebody else would become speaker. And so in any word,
but if what you say is true,
talking, I didn't say nothing. Leave it. You said we agree to disagree. So let me disagree with you. There is nowhere on this earth in any democracy where you will have a ruling party rooting for an opposition party to be in charge of the legislature. I don't care how you were that Jesus and how to call it and John the Baptist were cousin, it still will not happen. So politically, it don't make no sense. It don't make no sense politically. And so to come back now and say the president should act like a chief justice and tell people say, what you're doing, you're wrong, you don't do that, put your money in the poor business. They'll be the simple come and say, oh, the president overstepped the boundary. You put your money in the poor business. Today they're kicking Yaga Club, oh, you say the member talk. The member talk in the people business. You talk, you say, oh, the man overextending himself. The law is the law according to Musa Benedict, the man who, and that's how he can always lose. Follow Kofa with the law is the law. They went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court ruled, and all of them ran around with the interpretation. And the Justice Minister, who is empowered by a 1972 Act to give guidance on rulings to the executive, gave his guidance, and the guidance was what the president followed. Anybody else who has a different interpretation, go back to the court, which is what Kofa then did. But until the Supreme Court can rule in 2030 on that bill, Kofa is now speaker.
Okay.
He's not.
Let me just say there that I'll go to Jerry and welcome my co-host Jerry here tonight. But let me say this. I would say all of you that were against me during the campaign season, are so much vindictive that you have decided to you and Terry and Mr. So everybody is so vindictive that I flock you here. I beat you so much that Flanty Cover, who I said was going to win one, now you saw this one light ball, you think you got it.
That buffet ground.
Wow. Liberal politics. That what we come to now, buffet ground hole. Wow.
You see why Cool scared to leave from the capital? And what in that? Because we're waiting for him. He remember they go to G. That will vote behind him.
You don't by any way you say you don't leave in. By the way, let me welcome Jared. No, but very serious. And I think throwing colleagues out such that like that through violent means was unnecessary. But let me welcome Jared. Jared, this is the LPR you left. We always have fun here. And thank God your bike. Thank you for your safe travel. Welcome back to America and welcome back on LPR. What's on your plate, sir?
Thank you. Well, good to be back. The first day I came, I appeared, not knowing I was sick. I may have been sick, but anyway, I'm back. Well, let me listen to my brother, what he just said. That's how it is on this show. I said it from the beginning, but you know what? We told you the former speaker are not going to survive. And we give you the element, we give you the statistics, we give you the reason why he was not going to survive. Some of our recommendation was, look, do the honorable thing. The sentence no day. Oh no. Guess what happened? Politics is number. Politics is interest. Like my brother just said. As much as work out maybe he might like Ponanti, but are they partisan? No. Look what's going on here, even in the great United States. And what? Between two speakers, last year, what was it? In the House of Representatives. So look, folks, I said it on the show before. What happened in Liberia is a historical something that we all have to learn. And if you're not a history student, go and start reading and start doing research. And it will benefit Liberia through the process. There were a lot of laws that passed from the Supreme Court in the House of Representatives. So these are good things. You see, politics this time we don't have the new guns anymore. Let's go to the ballot boxes. Let's go to the Supreme Court. Let's elect people who are going to lead us. These are the issues that Liberian people should be fighting on. Demonstration not going to help out. Let's elect people who are competent, who are going to run our government. And these are the things we need to be focusing on. But anyway, the president gave a good the state union address.
Yeah, we're gonna try to dissect that, do our best to dissect it here tonight. But I'm not sure we're gonna have time for
all right, sir. So I'm glad to be back.
Thank you.
At least I coming from the hot weather, coming to the cool weather. It's very cool here. So what's life is all about? I had a good time while in Liberia.
Yeah, we saw your video. I'm sure you really did have a good time. That was good. I mean, to welcome you on the same ground that you used to walk on barefoot, and now people welcome you with touch branches. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing, and a good spirit as well. Thank you very much. You did well. Let's come to you, Terry. Terry, let's hear from you. What's on your plate? We're going to be dissecting the president's speech here tonight. I will do my best.
Come back. Just hold on 1 second.
Okay. Yeah. Senior brother, sister, how you doing, sir? Yeah. What on my plate?
I will welcome you. You don't say hello to me.
But I'm coming to you now.
No, two of you. I think I was right side to put two of you in one basket.
You already accused us saying we're vindictive. So the man you're getting vindictive, brother.
But I already saw since they're on fire tonight on you, and the argument got heated. But yeah, you guys been battling who to hold. But you know, since again, it was a guru. All a be more you get. He
He
will
can
try,
make
but he
it.
can't make it.
He can make it. He can
He
make it.
can't make it.
The man
He
has
will
been cool.
touch tire.
He ain't paying my mom. So I just
Exactly. Exactly.
So just fine, yo. But what on my plate is the Maryland boys are going to flock the Grand Jury tomorrow.
Oh.
And
How
that
you
is
think you
also
will go?
part.
How you think you'll go to Maryland? Unless you go through
Well,
Grand
they
Bassa
using
County. Oh.
they using the
You
other
talking
side.
like
What
that?
they using the other side. The way you use the
I think
ferry.
you because we're closer to what the hell you say? How you go over there?
You mustn't go with penalty. Oh. If you go with penalty, that's small picking in the pool that you will take it, you will take your oh. So the only thing I can say to you must be in the first half and the second half. But your made mistake to that game go to penalty. Your own will go. But yeah, Grand Gida looks strong because Grand Gida ended it.
Why did that ref did not give the penalty to Grand Gidero? Because the guy kicked him in the box.
Ah.
Yes, yeah. I mean, clearly you can see that he took the back foot off in the box.
But you
But
got V. What they call it? The thing what they can use on in a European game. How they call it
yeah, they did that. That's what I'm saying. People were showing it slow motion.
And
But anyway,
they took one guy cell phone from him. You are going live, so they just took it and then went by the look at it. Now they only feel.
They get VAR. You get VAR in like bro.
no, they got VR.
They just ended the man live. Then they went by and started looking at it. Very bad.
Oh god. But yeah, they went to all the thing. It's just a tough thing, man, for the honorable man for Nati Kofa or listening to you guys. It's tough for him. He's in the high zone. Like I was saying, the man is in. I know it's a common speakership he on, and how long? Because you know sometimes some people can be in coma for 10 years, but the speakership can only be for 5 years. So
Oh,
with
Gary back.
his speakership be in coma for 5 years.
No, I
Is
think
it depending on Yeke to pull the plug? So who will pull the plug now? Because when somebody in coma, sometimes the doctor they can tell you say you want to pull the plug, or you should remain in coma until what they call until you wake up.
Let me welcome my brother Azeru. Azeru, thank you for watching. But no, I think what is happening here is that what we're hearing about the Kofa story is much more deeper than that. We can't talk about it, but it's much deeper than that because if what we're hearing, if they are true, then Liberia is heading the wrong way. Because and even what I'm hearing, if it's true, the president most likely don't even know about it. But there are those who want to do or want to have the president to say if the president will praise them to the end of the day. It's just wrong. But we're not going to talk about it. Let me go on. Let me go on to the speech itself. I'm not too sure if Moses is going to join tonight. But when I went through this speech, I think President Wakai, this was not his best. This was not his as a performer, as someone. I'm just speaking strictly from the performance of the way President Wakai usually deliver messages. This was not the best. I did not see. I know he's not a young man, but that has not stopped him before to provoke in people some of the thing that he really want out. This seemed to me somebody wrote this thing, even if he have took a red pen to it. But I think many of these wording here are not all his, because if you listen to and I'll play a little bit of that tape tonight, not all of it, but if you listen to it, you will know certain area that when you can tell that certain part of it was his writing, because when he got into that, when he said, "Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, what we have done," you can tell when he said what, you can tell he moved into that. But until then, it was all underneath. So I truly don't believe that this was his best. I think he's there like just like any other Liberia organization here. The president going to go and give their report or something like that. and that's just my feeling. The first few part of it was written, I believe, by somebody who is so bent on scoring political point against certain people. And I will read that, and then I'll play the other one for all of us to see it. Now let me see. He said, "We thank God Almighty, the preserver of our nation, and are grateful for his blessing upon us over the past 12 months and nearly 2 centuries of nationhood." Correct point. This is what I'm saying now. From this point, I don't believe that's President Baka, and I know the public can write, and I know the public can talk, and he can talk sweet talk. As our world continues to confront vexing challenges, listen to this now. This is very interesting. This is very interesting. This is the same president that told us that we Liberians must be involved into fixing Liberian issue. Now listen to this. As our world continues to confront vexing challenges, some extensional, we must strive for a better, more peaceful, sustainable, and inclusive. You would think they would say Liberia, but he didn't. Inclusive global community.
Mr. The man said our word. Then he anyway, Liberia. He started with the whole word. He said our word. Then he anyway, Liberia. How would that make sense?
Let me finish.
Oh, okay.
You're
drawing there.
No, but let me
say our word.
Let me finish. Let me finish my reason here.
Okay.
It shouldn't be our. That's why I said he didn't write this, because if President Baka wrote this, he won't even use the word. He will try to frame it so it will be in Liberia, all about Liberia. There's nothing in the sentence that have any kinds of connection to the global besides the word, as you correctly pointed out.
Mr. So,
are you reading? Do you read Martin Colley? I hope you do read Martin Colley.
No. This one I printed out myself.
I got it right here. You're drowning looking for straws.
Okay.
The president start with a global analysis, because if you're going to talk about economic growth, if you're going to talk about economic growth, you're going to talk about what happened in the world. If you're going to talk about security,
slow down.
No,
I will soak you up tonight. Slow down. It will go. Slow down. Let me say again. The president started after telling all of the people, fellow Liberian distinguished ladies and gentlemen, when that was done, he said, we thank God Almighty, the preserver of our nation.
That was after he was done with the global. Now he done. Now
No.
The second sentence.
The very beginning, after he said, go through that. He said, my fellow. After he said, our international.
Tell me what is the point here? The man starts by pressing God for Liberia.
Will you please let me read?
I can understand what point you're trying to make. You might not say a word. Doesn't have the word in your vocabulary.
Mr. Goya, I know you want to drown me out, but it's not going to work. Let me read.
When somebody drowning, you can go for straws. That's
okay. Let me read. I come and catch you now. From the very beginning, he said, our international and local partner, traditional leaders, chiefs, elders, my fellow Liberian, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. The very first paragraph, he said, we thank God Almighty, the preserver of our nation. Underline that. And we are grateful for his blessing upon us over the past 12 months and nearly 2 centuries of nationhood, not global wood. Okay. Listen now, he jumped out of that. That's why I say that ain't you, brother. He jumped out of that one.
You want to respond to anything or for you to read? Which one? I want to know the process so I can know.
All right.
You wait for you to read everything or
no, okay, go ahead. Come on, they wanted that. You're right.
Because I'm waiting for the point you're trying to make.
Okay, but if you give me the opportunity, I will read it.
Get read the thing, but you editorialize in there, so then we would make comment or not make comment. And
Okay.
The process.
All right, this is what we're going to do. I will
Okay,
read.
let's do this. Let's do the format.
What is the process?
Okay, let's do the format.
The process.
Let's do the
Okay,
format.
let me.
Mr. Host.
Mr. Host. Your thing is some kind of journalist. I'm going to get your phone.
We want to
to journalism ethics.
Okay.
I'm reading it the way I know how to read it from Total. Y'all want to do it?
I put a link to the speech in the chat room.
Okay. All right. Let me go down now. So this is what I'm going to do for you.
The
I
speech
will
is
read
on the
2
executive.
paragraphs.
The speech is on the executive web.
Exactly. I will read 2 paragraphs, and then I will let you to talk about it. So
okay, that's why I asked him. Let's do the format. Which format you want us to go? I said,
okay. From the very beginning, the very beginning, the very first paragraph, he talked about Liberia. The second paragraph, he jumped from Liberia now.
Oh, that's why you had an issue.
We go. If that was my issue here, if this were President Waka writing, he will not do this.
Okay, let's read our paragraph. Let's see. That's what we want to hear.
So after Nationwood and Nation Liberia, he said, as our world continue to confront vexing challenges, why should it not be Liberian issue? The world is vexing challenges. Why can it not be Liberia vexing challenges? Okay. Some extension, we must strive for a better, more peaceful, sustainable, and inclusive global community. I'll stop there. Let's hear from you, back on co-host.
Are you telling me this is a global issue? The president said about global challenges.
What is the global challenges here that he needs?
Look at the economic.
What Guinea's? I'm not even going to go outside of the Atlantic Ocean. What Guinea got to do with Liberian challenges?
You see, when your hair hurt, your nose wrong. When your nose wrong, your eye hurt. No, you see, that's a global challenge we are facing today.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
go ahead. Make a point.
It's a global issue we are facing today. Look, what happened the last time? Let's take, for example, the Guinean fellow that were arrested. Not arrested. Arrested. In our custody, and the Guinean people came and collected him from our prison or whatever the process was. It's an international challenge we are facing today.
Okay. Thank you. Let go to say you got any comment on this one?
Yeah. I think if you go back and look, because I was just looking at presidential archives as you were talking presidential archives and looking at everything.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, because that's what I was just looking at it. But every president has done that.
I want you out there for you. When I try to do this, then you bring in all the bogus kind of confuse me now.
But I was doing it. I was just looking at
it's not good to have intellectual in a room when you're ready to talk tabata. Go ahead. Listen to you.
As you're talking, I'm looking at all Ellen past speeches, all Joe past speeches, all Obama past speeches, because they just look at a pattern in their little Mr. So.
Okay.
I think let's say one thing. I'm not going to go through the 2 paragraphs because I think for me I don't have an issue with that. I think though to say that the president didn't write his speech, I don't know of one president who writes their own speech. Obama, as smart as he was or is, because he hasn't died, has speech writers, not just one. There were presidential speech writers. Remember the reason they got rid of what was the guy who was the Sam was the when boasting allegedly said that he was writing Joe speeches and how to fire him during the beginning. Every president has a speech writer. Every president, and most times people come in saying that look, the president is giving a speech. They're going to ask Mo Ali, what's your update for the president's speech? They're going to ask the Minister of Finance and Development Planning, what's your update for the president's speech? So everybody is giving their updates, giving their inputs, and there's a speech writer I got to put that together. Okay,
I agree with you. They have to have my concern and my comment here with respect to speech writers. I'm not a speech writer. I can't even write my own letter anyway. And when I write one sentence, I send it all over the world for people to make correction before they come back to me. And then all the red line, one sentence, I don't know how to write, I can't spell, I can't do anything. But I would think that when you're writing something that you're speaking to the Liberian people, the one thread that's supposed to be lining up is the people. Now, I will give you an example. Terry, let me give you the example, then I'll come to you. Listen to this.
So you kept talking, okay, so I'm going to be quiet now. You're going to tell me right away and finish.
Yeah, but you finish now. You finish now.
There's a thread of the
You finish. You're talking too much, bro. You can't bring up Obama. All I can hear. I'm into thing. I understand how I beg you. Don't start with me tonight. But Terry, let me come to you.
Guru.
Yeah, I tell you, that's something. We're packing the garage. But let me just say this. The speed writing, Terry, I just show you the now watch this. Watch this. The first paragraph, the president talk about.
But there's no case. Why are you making case out of it tonight? There's no case that you made.
Hold on now, Jerry. Hold on, Chip co-host. The first paragraph, he talk about Liberia and the nation. The second paragraph, he said global. Watch this now. The third paragraph, he said, permit me to take this moment to express my profound thanks and a heartfelt gratitude to you, the people of Liberia. After he jumped from global, what did a global pack got to do with 18 years? Okay, let's forget that.
The peace and stability part there. Because you talk about the global, then you talk about Liberian people for helping to support the peace and stability. That's the link. When you say the global thing, you talk about peace and stability. In the second Sunday, when you talk about permit me to, you talk about Liberian people, about the commitment to peace and stability for the beloved country. That is the link.
If you want to do that, then we'll do it for it. For your unwavering commitment to the peace and stability of our beloved country. What that one got to do it? What that one got to do it in England?
He's saying that there are amid all of the problems in the world, amid all of the problems that the world should be striving for peace, Liberians have been committed to making sure that they strive for peace and stability. That is the link.
You are the speed writer because
that is the link.
You are the speed writer. You are not going to put it in the way you defend that thing is dead.
That is exactly what I would have done.
No, you are not going to say, come on. You put global initiative into
So you're going to talk about, the man knows that he's going to talk about the economy. He's going to talk about other things. And those are tied to global problems. So you got to first talk about the global problem before you go deeper into it.
Okay. Terry, let's hear from you.
Well, liberal, I don't know.
But me not saying anything. It doesn't mean that you want to. You win nothing.
Oh no, me, I know you. I can't win you, sir.
Okay.
Liberal, you got.
Don't go smile.
You got some kind of.
You win nothing.
Now something on my phone. I'm looking at laughing.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Terry.
Yeah, you got some point there, but the thing here is that
somebody else in the room here. No, okay, Terry, go ahead.
Yeah, the president, and you got a point here. There's a little bit of absence of the connection from that particular era, but I don't want to think that it's a big issue. That when you're making it out of a big issue, I don't think so. I think where I will have a problem will be from the beginning of the speech. At least I expected the president to start with a joke, let's say maybe with a parable, or maybe with a story. I expected him to maybe start with a story to ease the tension in the room that will create a scenario, or joking scenario, all right, that would link him to addressing the capital building, which he put way down here, further down. Yeah, he put way down. After he said all of what you just outlined, I expected him to have brought in a joke to ease the tension and speak about the Capitol building. But when he said what he said and came down to the Capitol building, again, he accused somebody in his statement that I did not really expect him to have done.
I will read that for you. I will read that loud and clear. And that's the defense. The defense from you, because I know sooner or later your red, that barrow share you wearing over there, you soon change it to I share. Because when I read that thing, you change it to I. But let me read it for you. He said, a year ago, we addressed the citizen of this republic through you, fathering an epic defining transition. that captivated the democratic world. At that time, we stood within the reserve wall of the Capitol building, an enduring symbol of our democracy bestowed upon us by our forebears. Now, a year after that historic transition, we face a moment of truth that our democracy can be threatened by those who oppose our steady progress. Where? In Liberia, who oppose your steady progress?
What?
Yes, I say so,
Mr.
Jerry.
Mr.
Oh, okay, let's hear from you. Let's hear from you.
No, but Terry, what's the person he accused then?
Oh no, hold on.
Yeah,
You got him.
no, wait now, wait. Let's go back there. Let's go back there.
What was Terry? You want me to read it?
Yeah,
Let Terry read
let me read a part. He said,
Okay.
he said here, now a year after that historical transition, we face a moment of truth that our democracy can be threatened by those who oppose our steady progress. However, the fact that we are reporting on our stewardship here today on the grounds of the People's House recently damaged by fire highlights the resilience of the Liberian people. I assure you that, oh God, well, look at me, doesn't it think? Okay. Yeah, I assure you that the scrutiny of the security of the state and the sanity of our republic, though may be assailed, may be threatened, however, it can never be broken. It will be preserved. Likewise, the sacrifices made by our generation who work hard on century. No one personal ambition. No one's personal ambition can ever outweigh the importance of our peace and security. Who is he speaking to?
Who is he speaking to?
In regards to the fire destruction.
No. You see that now?
No,
that is not in the same sentence as the fire damage.
Yeah,
and that's the problem you're having. The man talked about people threatening the peace before he even went to fire. He talked about the security is being threatened. And people who don't want the steady progress. He said that before even going to fire.
Okay.
So how did that take that one statement?
No, he said he talked about the fire before he came down to.
Okay, but I go back and read it again.
Okay, let me read it. You can't do this to us. You know, you can't do this. Okay, let me read it. He said, at the time we stood within the word of blah, blah. Okay, now, a year after that historic transition, we face a moment of truth that our democracy can be threatened by those who oppose our steady progress.
Where before you talk about fire? Where before you talk about fire?
Hold on now.
Okay, let's just say peace.
But what were you talking about?
Okay.
There are so many things people are threatening. They call for that. They didn't see the
hold on. Jared, let hear from you.
Look at, let me give you a typical example. We are 4 here, and we all had disagreement. We had different opinions. And think about it, we got 4.somewhat million people in that country. And the president is telling you the stability of the country. There are other people who are opposed to it, but now you know what, we are not being threatened. So he gave me an example of what I have in this country. But you know what? The country will never be wavered. So answer your argument into it, whether or president accusing somebody, who did he accuse?
Okay.
And he is speaking.
You are president of the Republic of Liberia.
Yes, sir.
You say people oppose your steady progress.
Yeah,
where?
People are opposing to it. So
where?
we are aware of
it. No, hold on now, Jerry. No, hold on.
That is the case.
Hold on now, Jerry. The president controls the money. The backdoor speaker controls the budget. The budget has been passed. The president has the money to spend on whatever developmental agenda he wants. Who in our country, not even Georgia, can oppose anything? Who in our country?
Serious?
Yeah, tell me. Okay,
are you serious? Not because of the president passed the budget, not because of the president.
Was the speech about that?
No, here's the point. Here's the point you're missing.
Was the speech about that?
What was the name of the occasion? What was the name of the occasion?
Oh, yeah, we go.
Go ahead.
State of the Nation address.
The state of the nation. The state of the nation. The health of the nation.
Right.
So listen. So the health of the nation, you got to talk about the security aspect. You got to talk about that's what it is. You talk about education. So you're talking about the overall health of the nation. When people were throwing rocks, people were doing things. People have been threatening. Oh, my brother doing the one. If I want John, we ain't go. They ain't getting access to the VIP loan. We'll burn it down. The next time they tell people will do this, those are threats to security.
That the people threatening the security.
Those are threats to the security.
So
it is not
those
just
are the accounts.
So let me tell you something. I know the liberal were hoping that I'm coming John, I'm coming off from Kofa, but the Koga Ras in the John 4 times they had a John Wapri just about it. They see.
Okay, let's move on.
God.
You and Jerry back on, ain't got point on this one. I think we got, but Terry and myself got it. But let me do something here.
Well, you know what? I'll not put it to a vote.
What vote? You think that democracy will run
liberal
story? Democracy, democracy. Why we come and put a vote? That's what we say here.
I went to hotel. I went to my hotel.
He's telling us.
Okay, let me. After the president finished giving his speech, what's his name? What's his name? Walter Carter, you need to come here and tell me, because you were here yesterday saying all kind of tomato. You need to come here and point out, because I got a video. I will not play until you come on here. But let me play this video. One young man decided, I think he's opposition. I don't know for sure, but I think he's opposition from the way he was speaking. Okay, but I want you to look into that speech and tell me if it even makes sense or if it's something that have any traction at all. Let's listen to this young man.
Regime. I think Chancellor regime is far better than President Barack regime. Yes, we have bullets flying all over Liberia, but we have a president that was in charge. What kind of president that will openly violate our constitution, yet still talking about respecting the rule of law? So it's like somebody that having cigarette in the hand and looking at a signboard that say no smoking, but then the cigarette is in their hand and they're smoking it. That's how the president speaks. Okay? For the president to be talking about respecting the rule of law and openly violating it, and I'm like, you're not even aware of what he's saying. So for me, I can tell you for free, Charles Taylor regime, Charles Taylor, when bullets were flying, Charles Taylor regime was far better than President Barack regime, because his level of insensitivity is so hard to the extent that much is not enough to describe this president's evil eye. To be frank, so for some of you, or some of the young people that are looking at their future and putting it in their bucket in the name of supporting Barack, I'm so sorry. Okay? But I pray that this country will be rescued.
Let me, on a very serious note, let's go to Jerry. Jerry, a statement such as this young man, he lives in Liberia, and I'm sure many young people are not even looking at what this president is trying his best, from my perspective, trying to do for the future of this country. They are looking at these things from the lens of political point scoring. What do you make of this young man this thing here he's saying here? And I'm sure he's not the only person. What do you make of it after the president gave his nation address? And go on. I'm going to go and bring in the president. When he started telling us what some of the things we do, I will only play 2 or 3 minutes of that. But go on, Jerry, please.
You see, I learned something from Backup Murphy. The late Backup Murphy, my soul rest in peace. There's a question I asked was posed to him. He said there are certain things it need to be dignified. Because
allow me to give you some perspective.
Hold on, Jerry, sorry.
To further understand.
I'm sorry, Jerry. I moved Jerry to. Go ahead.
There are certain things it need to be dignified. Because, listen, he's the president of the Republic of Liberia. He's entitled to what he wants to say. But here's the thing. The president on message, what he want to do, what he want to carry the country for the next 5-6 years. He did a lot of statistics. He did a lot of reasoning where he want to carry. So these, I think, we need to be talking about. I mean, people will talk what they want to say. That was his opinion. He's entitled to it. So I'm not going to dignify it.
Okay. Let's go to you, Terry. What do you make of that video?
Well, the video of that little boy is just the typical mindset of the Liberians who are not ready, have not really seen what it looks like to live a good life. I want to be very careful with my words, because the reason I say that Liberians have a way of punishing a leader when they do wrong by voting for a person that leader who is doing wrong hates. When Madame Sirleaf was performing poorly in her leadership, this Liberian said they prefer Charles Taylor. The Charles Taylor that used to make people to stand up straight on the car roller day when his convoy is passing. Charles Taylor, who beheaded thousands of Liberians just by the stroke of his finger. Charles Taylor, what his son used to rape the girls in the country. And nobody. Charles Taylor, what they used to put people in barracks. 18 you then used to put people in barracks. I was also a victim by
Let me
the
bring in Victor.
but I
Go
was
ahead.
also a victim from one of Charles Taylor guys they call Octopus, which was Jack the Rebel. I don't know if that was Octopus. I forgot his name, man. He used to use a black Jeep in the night. I went there to go join SBU. That was the worst nightmare I ever experienced.
What is SBU?
SBU was a group they were recruiting that used to wear
Small ball soldier?
no, that not small boss. So
No, boy, unit.
that's a unit. There was a unit that was like almost like adjacent with ATU. They called it SS, I think SSU, not SBU. Yeah. The rebel name for small ball soldier that SBU. So it was SSU. Anybody who were in Liberia at that time during 1998, 99, understand what I'm talking about, 1998. So what I'm saying is that Charles Taylor ran a terroristic form of government where human rights were violated to the core. I was in that particular leadership, so I know it. So there is no Liberian who got the senses will wish and pray for Charles Taylor to come back to Liberia to be president. Nobody, unless you didn't know Charles Taylor leadership. So I think, but Liberians noted for that. You see what they did to President Weah? They did that to President Weah by voting the very person that President Weah said that he's sleeping. That is how Liberian can pay you back for what you do to them. They can pay you back by voting the person that you hate the most. That is the reason why this government has to be very careful in how they continue to attack the previous government. Even though I'm one of those who don't believe that President Weah can come back, but we got to be very careful how we continue to throw tantrum and attack the previous government, making it about them instead of making it about this government and what you plan to do for the people. Because when the people get fed up, they also get frustrated. Like I said something today, right? People always say angry losers, that we classify the sedition to be angry loser. They classify us to be angry winner. But you know what thing they are forgetting? They are forgetting the angry voters. The angry voters are they that will vote for the people that you don't like, not because they're thinking of change, but because they want to hurt you. That is the mindset you just saw over there.
Thank you. Mr. Nagwe, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Sissy, let me come to you on this video. Do you want to make a comment or you want to move on?
It's not worth my time.
Thank you. Okay. Nagwe, and before
very,
we play
very
this,
Bacchus Matthew-esque.
a said the only thing you got Afro, but a said you're about Bacchus Matthew. So
we're high school students, so you gotta follow somebody he's saying. That's why.
I really have a renewed level of respect for Jerry. He's actually referencing my former party chairman, Gary Bacchus Matthews. I'm impressed. Okay. But listen, it is good to be with you guys. I'm very happy to be here. I was listening coming in, and I am confused here. are we really discussing the president delivery as opposed to the substance of the message? What are we?
Mr. Nabe, 1%
What
or
are we
negative 1%, hold your own. We will come to that. Please, we try to have fun here.
But then we'll talk about that. Then let's talk about the water drinking at the end of the message. Now I didn't hear that one being talked about.
Here we go. I got a video here. Be careful.
Because it appears the handlers have not learned that this president is an octogenarian. He cannot be expected to deliver a speech that will run for even 25 minutes. And they draw up a speech for him to deliver.
An octogenarian that beat a strong man that couldn't get more than 1.7%. That's the one you want to talk about?
Oh.
Okay, you don't need that one.
Anyway, you know what? You're not listening to Terry talking about the angry winners. He's still.
Okay. All right. Let's do this. I have the president. I want y'all to let's listen to it. I will play about 2 or 3 minutes of it, not all of it, and then we can go in there because here, this one, the president going to tell us exactly what he has done and some of the things he plans to do. Let's listen to the president here.
Allow me to give you some perspective to further understand where we are today. We inherited an economy in steep decline, with Liberians facing unprecedented hardship, including rising unemployment, inflation, and growing inequality. Before our administration, growth slowed to just 4.6%, while inflation surged to a double digit of 10.1%, driven largely by rising food and fuel prices. The current account debt at the time had worsened to 26.4% of the GDP. International reserves were dangerously low, just about 2.1 months of import cover, and debt burden had ballooned to 2.5 billion, with 54.6% of the GDP. Civil servants were facing extreme hardship due to pay harmonization and delayed salary payments, leaving them vulnerable to payday lenders and informal financial.
Okay, we'll come back, and we'll play his fix. Let me start with you, Mr. Nabe. What did you hear from this president in this short clip here?
So, I mean, he's setting the stage. It sounds to me, for someone who's coming to complain.
Complain?
Yeah, why we didn't do this? Fuel prices high. Global instability and all of that. Sounds to me, that's what he's doing. He's setting the stage to prep us to deliver the reason why they haven't made so much progress. Look. Listen to part of the speech, right? The president, in his last State of the Nation address, he talked to us about fixing the presidential transition, the difficulties he encountered, and therefore he was going to propose a bill for presidential transition. He talked about that again. That's 12 years ago. He talked about that. The president told us long ago he was going to employ 10,000 youth. Yesterday again, he talked to us about the youth service corps or something. This is his legislative agenda he's delivering to us. It sounds to me like the same thing he told us 12 months ago. So here is what I expected, right? The president's his ideology, his plan, where he's taking this country, is through the arrest agenda, which has been relaunched to the AAID, arrest agenda for inclusive development, 5-year plan, $8.4 billion. I expected this president to lay out to us the plan to accomplish this humongous task. $8.4 billion is a lot of money for Liberia in 5 years. Well, all he said was 60% of that is expected to be raised locally. The other 40% is supposed to come from us. But we don't have any indication of how he intends to engaged us, YOLA meaning, the umbrella organization of Liberians in the U.S. And so, as to how much substance I took away from this message, I don't know. I was not really, I was not sold on this president preparedness to drive this arrest agenda. It has been launched and relaunched. I really expected, a roadmap. Okay, this is what we've done with roads.
We're coming there.
We're done with agriculture. This is what we're done with education. This is what we're done with sanitation. This is what we're done with tourism. He is still proposing a tourism act, a local government act. He's been talking about this for 12 months.
Thank you, Mr. Nabwit. Sissy, let me come to you. Before our administration, growth have shown to just 4.6%, while inflation surged to double digits at 10.1%, driven largely by the raising food and fuel prices. And he went on to say the current account deficit at the time had worsened to 26.4% of GDP. International reserve were dangerously low at 2.1 month of import cover. And our debt burden had blown to 2.5 billion, or 54.6% of GDP. Civil servants were facing extreme hardship due to pay harmonization and delayed salary payment, leaving them vulnerable to payday lender and informal financial scheme like Susu Club. Sissy, what the president is what Namwe is telling us here is that the president is preparing us to tell us that because of all of these hardships, we are unable to do X, Y, and Z. Is that what he's going on? The president is saying something out here. What do you make of it?
I think my brother's been intentionally disingenuous. Progress monitoring is what the president is doing. He knows, so let's talk about that like teachers. When you get your students, when the students take all the tests this year, next year, when we're looking at teachers' progress monitoring, we say, here's where the students came to you at. When these kids, I had them in 8th grade math, for example, I had these kids, a lot of them scoring at 3rd grade level, 4th grade level, 5th grade level. And so when you look at my scores right now, yes, they are not proficient. They're not scoring at 8th grade level, but these 3rd graders now are scoring at 5th grade level. They're scoring at 6th grade level. That's progress monitoring. I'm telling you where I took them from and how we got here. And so to say that the president is laying the basis for progress monitoring, that is to complain, I think my brother knows that we did that education a lot, that is just being disingenuous. There is no way you talk about growth without telling people where you started from. Growing from what? How do you have growth if you don't talk to people where you were before? You can't say, oh, I got taller this year when you don't know how tall you were last year. You say, oh, I'm getting older. Older than what? Older compared to the last time. I'm getting richer. Richer than what? Richer compared to the last time. I'm getting better in health. Better than what? Better than what I felt the last time. You have to lay a basis. I think that's just disingenuous. And to get finished, for my brother to be talking about Eula raising 40% or something, Eula hasn't got $3 in the bank and can raise 40% or something.
No, that's pro-Liberian. That's pro-Liberian.
Yeah, but he said Eula, and Eula, it does not represent all that.
Eula is the umbrella organization of diaspora. Go ahead, I'll give you the
so you don't represent 5% of the.
I'm waiting for you to say the contract. So the
last time we checked, how to call it, man? A minister of sport gave us some money here from the government.
We're not talking about Eula. So please get back to the point.
So Eula can't even raise $3 to keep the website up. So let's be fair. Let's be very fair here. Terry was asking for a story. Here's the story the president is telling you. He's telling how everything began. And as you go further, like Mr. Nangbe was saying, if you look further down, he lays it down in sections. He talks about health. He talks about education. He talks about all of those pieces and lays them down in steps. He lays out the parts of the arrest agenda. And when he talks to you about the local government act, or he talks to you about tourism, he's telling you progress. He's monitoring progress. He's telling you, yes, our progress monitor. That's what he's giving you. He's not just talking about
when somebody tell you, I don't want to put you in the bike. Now, wait, please let him
When
speak.
somebody
We'll
tell you
come to
that on the issue of food security, we are going to make sure that we can feed ourselves. They will come back and still talk about food security and say how far they've gone. Doesn't mean they're repeating themselves. They're giving you their progress monitoring. They're telling you, the president came back to tell you the state of the nation, which is everything he's promised you and where they're going and where he sees his vision to go.
Thank you. Let me come to you, Mr. Bargon, co-host. We simply did not just recognize these challenges and their impact on our citizens. We took decisive action to increase salaries of health workers, the police, and the teachers. We have taken steps necessary to restore economic stability and have made good progress. In 2024, our economy demonstrated resilience and steady growth with a revised real GDP growth, like some kind of false GDP growth. I think Terry is back. Okay, all right. With real GDP growth rate of 5.1%. Key sector driving this growth include. Okay, we'll come to that. As I think the man just reading a speech ahead of him coming to me. But let's come to you, Jerry. Go ahead.
You know, Mr. Namwe, July, the significant July in this country. I mean, come on. I was saying news, Mr. Bago Mafi, your Ado. I'm not going to dignify your July issue, but here's the thing I want to make tonight. The president said in his we are passed 11 of bills. Education, youth, security, cyber.
I beg you, you're not stay with what we're reading to you. Because when you go ahead of us, then you're not helping us.
You talk about let's just start with the police and the nurses. You talk about in the what you just read, that they increased their salary. That today we don't owe any salary in your rear anymore. So these are progress the president is.
That's not true. That's not true.
Nabe, we'll come to you. Nabe, just write. Nabe, just write your stuff. We'll come to you.
I mean, then he read it again. Read it so Mr. Number will hear very loud and clear. So, folks, Mr. Boka is telling you, His Excellency is telling you, look, this is the program we have made. There are some challenges ahead of us, but these are the progress we have made. Student tuition, they are paid. You know, when we came, it was 7 point something, and now we are finished paying it off. So these are issues the president is talking about. So
okay, thank you. So, Terry, go ahead, combine all of them and talk to us.
Actually, I went off, so because my phone, I was not really getting.
Okay.
So if you jump over me.
Okay, jump over you. All right. Okay, that's fine.
Jump over you?
Jump over you?
I want to speak to it, but
you jump over. That's good.
You pastor, you pastor, then you coca you.
Okay, let me speak a little bit to that.
All right, go ahead.
I will try. But however, the growth here that we're looking at of the president talking about the country.
Yeah, 5.1% real
growth,
GDP
heavily supported by the fishery, mining sector, and all of that, right?
Right.
So it depends. That means that the only thing I have problem with is that the trickle-down effect of that growth is not being actualized into reality. It's just a mere number. And that is what politicians do. They give you the figure in order for you to see it from that lens instead of seeing it from the reality. But the old man in the kitchen, Dorothy and Esther, is not feeling that impact. So as a result, the speech is good.
But anybody need Dorothy Cook before?
Say, let him speak.
But then I see nobody need Dorothy Cook before.
Dorothy,
don't bring trouble on us. We got plenty of Dorothy people watching us. I beg you.
We got Dorothy there.
I
beg
you.
From
we don't want D here tonight. I beg you. We don't want D here.
Somebody intro. I'm supposed somebody intro here to know.
Okay,
but,
ladies
but
and gentlemen, the show has come to an end. We can no longer continue this. I think
okay,
this
let
You
me
show.
flew, you flew too close to home.
God.
What you mean by
that
Dora can cook? Where that one come from? I beg you, Sarah, go ahead and your statement. Let's move on. Some
so
of us
yeah,
that can go from state to state, we can eat from Dorothy's house. What do you mean by
that
Dorothy can cook?
True confession. Oh.
I meant to say the trickle down effect is not seen in the minds, in the life of the people.
That's why I say
But
the president not doing good for us. He
but
bringing all
that
the
growth,
go
that growth is
ahead, Terry.
very essential if that growth improves in this particular fiscal year to another 5%. Wherein those who are coming in by infrastructural, like for the mining sector, if we enlarge in the mining sector where our people, other mining companies can come in and employ people, that will be fine. The future rate, the agriculture, the 4,000 hectares of land that they're talking about, doing agriculture on, if that really happen, it could open the opportunity for jobs availability for our people too. The fishery and all of that, those are potential sectors that are very good, that could bring in economic growth. It may not be fast, but periodically over a period of time, we could see impact. It may not be huge because, to be honest with you, or those kind of economical growth does not really emancipate our people from poverty, but at least we'll have a middle class. And that is very important. If there's a huge boost that will happen in this particular fiscal year, I hope to see that day.
Thank you. Now, wait, let me come to you. And I want you to, first of all, let me say to you the brilliance of this father of the nation. Listen to this. If he read this, and I'm still arguing that somebody wrote it, but I'm sure if you're satisfied with that, he will come out. He said this here, and this is the smart of this of our father. He said the current account deficit at the time has worsened to 26.4%. The international reserve were dangerously low at just 2.1 months. But listen to this. Then I'll come to you. He said the country international reserve have improved to $458.9 million. That's very smart. On one hand, he said 2.1 month. He said what amount? On the other hand, he said for this Liberian can understand that. If benefit him, he put the dollar amount. If it's the negative for the other people, he put 2.1 month. Y'all go figure it out. You can't make it with a rescue train, man. Go ahead, let's hear from you.
Well, and I think the president's his speech actually translates to his surrogates here tonight. They talk about increase in salary, which is a good thing. It's almost like just we are paying school fees for the student, but there are no equipment, no laboratory equipment for the student to learn. No textbook. Right now, I can tell you on January 21st, which is what 7 days ago, the district number 3 representative in the House of Representatives, Austin Taylor, he wants to summon the Minister of Education and the Finance Minister. The teachers in Maryland County have not taken pay for 3 months. I'm sure Terry knows this. He's been in Maryland 3 months. I know this because I'm involved with this with the local high school in Barobo. 3 months they haven't taken pay. So you tell me increasing salary and people not taking pay for 3 months. How do the two compare? It's the same thing the president is telling us. The economy is getting better, but you go out in the street and listen to the ordinary person. You play the video of what this gentleman was saying. His own understanding and interpretation of what the president said yesterday. The reality don't match the numbers on the papers. What is the point of the numbers on the papers if they don't translate to the everyday life of the people? I think that's what the disconnect is.
Okay.
So the president, he said, things are better than they were a year ago. But the reality on the street don't bear him out. They don't.
Okay. Let me play one more clip of that, and then we will go around the room again, starting with Sisters. Let's play this here.
Susu clubs. We simply did not just recognize these challenges and their impact on our citizens. We took decisive action to increase salaries of health workers, the police, and the teachers. We have taken steps necessary to restore economic stability and have made good progress. In 2024, our economy demonstrated resilience and steady growth with a revised real GDP growth of 5.1%. Key sectors driving the growth include mining, agriculture, fisheries, and services. Strategic investment in infrastructure and energy deployment, supported by international partners such as the World Bank, African Development Bank, the European Union, USAID, further bolstered this expansion. We have managed inflation prudently, reducing it to 7.7% by the end of 2024, down from 10.1% in 2023, thanks to the sound fiscal and monetary policies. We expect inflation to decrease further to 6% in 2025. The country's international reserve have improved to 458.9 million, and the Liberian dollar has appreciated by 4.7% against the US dollar. The General Bank has reduced the monetary policy rate from 20% to 17%, boosting confidence in the financial system. As a result, private sector credit has increased by 9.1%. Efforts to strengthen the financial governance are underway, focusing on reducing operational costs and addressing audit recommendations. Our participation in the IMF Extended Credit Facility as ECF program will help rebuild reserves, strengthen fiscal policy, and enhance domestic revenue through improved tax collection and streamlined exemption.
Okay, so let's come to you, Sissy. And I now sympathize with Sedition, who claiming the president was not being truthful. I think throwing too many numbers at Sedition is difficult because they don't understand numbers. And so when the president threw all of these numbers, they really don't know what to grasp at. But they're going around seeing the president making story and things like that. But what do you make of a part of this speech? Is it strong in as much as the president tried to say, we did this, we are involved with IMF because our involvement with IMF, this is the result we're going to get. What do you make of those things?
I don't think the president's speech was only tailored to people who were former students at Bunapeno Youngblood University from across the road. So if they don't understand numbers,
across what road? Across Bernard Ure Taylor. I mean Bernard Ure.
Yeah, across the road. The finalists, since they evicted, then they all went by and dug out their consciences for under the Sakimo tree. Now all of a sudden they got conscience. But look, let me tell you this. Terry asked for a story. Here's the story the president is laying out. He's telling you where he got from and where they got. And yes, Terry made a point. The point here is that you can talk about numbers all you want. If the impact is not being felt, if I go to the market and yes, there's an increase in salary, but maybe I have more people now to take care of, so my money is not stretching as much anymore. Then it is a difficult conversation to convince somebody that they have enough, they have more money because they still have more expenses, right? But to think that the president should not talk about that, I think is disingenuous. You got to tell people, and to say that you can't say you increase salary even though you owe salary. I don't know where Mr. Nangbe feel that those two things cannot be mutually exclusive. They can be mutually exclusive. And
I'm trying to post this, but I can't. Here's what I'm telling you.
And
Because the people in the audience, they're telling me I'm lying. This, what is it? January 22nd. 3 months.
What did they say?
I'm trying to put it in the link so you can also.
But people say you lie about what thing?
And that people say that the government doesn't owe 3 months in salaries.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about that.
Thank you.
So they got to ignore the comment section.
The people, yeah, the
You know how they've been killing me holding to this comment section. I have my head. But look, because that was news. It was everywhere. It was news, right? And even I saw the representative talking about inviting the minister. So that's not something you're making up. But the two things can be true at the same time. There can be increases in salary and they still owe salary. So those two things can be true.
How do they reconcile?
I can increase
you my salary, but you're not paying me.
No, I can increase your salary, and the man has been in office for 12 months, and you owe 3 months. So that means those people must have gotten paid at some point in time with that increased salary, with that increased amount. So those two things are possible at the same time, right? And it is not a zero sum game. And the next thing is the president can boast of increasing the agricultural budget by 200%. It's a fact. It's not enough, but it's a fact. He increased about 200%. And to talk about things that affect the LeBron port daily is the U.S. dollar rate. He talked about that. He talked about the LeBron dollar appreciating against the U.S. dollar. The rate is down. That's something LeBron people see. Look, I know y'all keep coming back to the young guy, and I didn't want to comment on it, but let me say one thing. Because it comes down to, and Mr. Nangbe said, the propaganda of the president team, right? His surrogate. But I think it is the other way around. Is the propaganda, for lack of a better word, of the other people who don't want to open their eyeball to see anything. I'm going to read one quote for you because I've seen the sedition version of this. People send it to my inbox and I laugh. They said Joseph Boakai said that he trained 10,000 young people in cybersecurity. That is the thing seditions are being circulating because I know some seditions are putting in my inbox. So I'm saying that because I know people putting in my inbox. Here is the exact quote because I want to counter what that young man is saying because they hear stuff and they don't do research. They just swallow it. Last year, we launched a digital transformation initiative focused on digital literacy programs to train young Liberians in various skills. I am pleased to announce that we have trained over 10,000 young people across all 15 counties and empowered 50 teams with seed funding to start digital businesses. We also awarded 4-year degree scholarship to 15 participants, each representing a county. That is it. Nothing there about cybersecurity. Nothing. But the way you were hearing from the people from Munapela Youngblood University is that the president said that he trained people in cybersecurity.
So
thank you. Now we'll come to you. We're going around the room. We're going around the room.
I just get a feeling like you never come to me. You keep saying we'll come to you. You never do. So, but I'm here.
Give me the opportunity. Let me go ahead.
My co-host here, I should give you the opportunity. Go ahead.
So first of all, where are the 10,000 young people who have been trained? Where are they?
Well, that is not even the point. The point here is that people said that the president said they were in cybersecurity. That's the point I'm trying to make. Now we can argue about the 10,000 people. That is open. But that people that don't know propaganda argue that the president said they were in cybersecurity, and that's what they're running with. He never said anything about cybersecurity.
Okay. So I was in Monrovia 10 days before the president's inauguration. The rate was around 190 something. It is still around 190 something. I think it's 198. It was even lower at the time he was getting inaugurated. I don't see where the rate has gone down.
The rate dropped during Christmas.
To what?
But it have increased.
Oh.
It dropped during Christmas to
it dropped in one day, then it gone up so that
during the Christmas season, during the festive season.
Man is reporting on the fiscal year that ended.
Oh,
yeah. Y'all get it, man. Can't let him talk. I beg y'all.
Inauguration at 1 year ago, Mr. Nangbe.
Because those are some of the progress that were being reported by the president. The rate drop, we drop gasoline price, we drop rice price, But I mean, the gasoline price, I think there is some truth to that. I know when I was in town, I was buying gasoline for like $800, $850, sometimes $760 or so. So I think they've done something about that. But you wonder whether these are not done, to giving the space for the state of the.
Somebody got to mute himself.
To giving space for the state of the nation address, because like Terry is saying,
from your end,
the rate drop around Christmas or whatever it is, but now it's going back up. But by that time, it's already been captured in the State of the Nation address. Look, we want this president to do well. You understand me? But I'm surprised that my brother sister here, who is a mathematician, will be here and talking without the numbers to back him up. You talk about 10,000 people trained. Where are they? Show me the 10,000 people who have been trained.
But Mr. Nango, you understood the point I made, or you just want you got membership from Munapeno Young Blood University. I did not say that.
I didn't even know that university exists.
I did not say that I agree that the president trained 10,000 or 200 people or 100 people. The point I'm making is that he did not say that he trained people in cybersecurity.
I agree with you on that.
From across the road saying, and so then why you still attacking me for that? I didn't say that was the truth. I'm saying that the lie from across the street from Munapeno International University was that the president has said that people were trained in cybersecurity and it's carried around everywhere. It's been all in my inbox from people that are considered credible.
Okay. I get your point.
Let me open the line. Let me open the line. Folks, if you want to call, give us a call here, 916-533. And CEO, if you're listening, we're going to go over tonight by maybe 15, 20 minutes the most. It's just a good topic that we're having a discussion on. So, in fact, what am I telling you? I'm commanding you to approve. I'm the board chair. I'm commanding the CEO to approve us going 15, 20 minutes tonight. Okay. So let's come to you now, Jerry. What do you?
No, I mean the man is trying to cut me up, but
you stay on the cash out there. The problem, all the same cash out will focus on
this show. Okay, there's somebody coming to help Nagbe now. You're not listening to that one there. That another Tabata, he bring that video. I'll play the video for him tonight. Go ahead. Walter Carter, go ahead. What's on your mind?
Are you gonna play the video?
What video?
Oh, the video talking about what the mayor almost passed out. And that when you want to play?
No, but what's about it you want me to play?
Oh no, you're talking about something like video. Say if I'm kind of shit when I play the
video.
Okay,
what did you say about the video last night?
No, I ain't even gonna go on that video.
Oh, because you know I have the truth here, so you're gonna run that way. Your CDC when you're like Donald Trump. When people not around, you're talking and things. As soon as people show up, then you're scared.
He was disoriented. Man, one boy got asking, telling drink up. He said, "What he said? Wait till you know." You want one more come on? What he said? But anyway, that's not the point. Look, you know, I want to talk to my brother sister. There's no way, you know, when we come on this discussion, then he try to denigrate people that support President Weah and the CDC, who are part of the CDC, and call them Munapeno Young Blood University, meaning that their IQ or their level of intelligence is kind of low and all that kind of.
Now you don't want giving it meaning. That's what he said.
No, but the whole university name Munapeno University. University
administration.
No, university.
People that we see in this administration. I will not put Mr. Bwaka there because we already finished establishing that he's a bad product. He's a bad good Liberian, the surrogate that you, Mr. told us tonight that is very vindictive. The Terry, the Jerry Washington security expert, that you told us on the platform tonight that they are very vindictive. The mathematician, Sister Goya, once upon a time, and
the come up professor. Oh, that's so
just so it will hurt you.
I come in from my point. You told us that they are vindictive. They are vindictiveness causing them to be blind as to the things this president is doing. So we already established that, and we established that the president, I mean, he doesn't know what he's doing. My thing is the people that are around the president, they are causing this country to go down the drain. Because the speech that president read over there, he knows nothing about it.
Just hold on. Let me merge this guy. Hold on, this person.
Keto won't talk about somebody reading speech and know nothing about it. Keto, seriously?
Yeah, no, but that CDC for you. Go ahead, Keto. Go ahead.
How can this president come on and blatantly lie to Liberian people, tell Liberian people he trained 10,000 young people in what digital, whatever computer? Where are those people?
He's scared. He changed it now. I don't want running with cybersecurity. He's scared.
People say they have raised nurses' salary. Where the nurses were just out the last time. The medical people were just out.
What? Hold on. What happened here? Hold on, Walter Cutter. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you're right. Walter Cutter, if you're listening, please call back. Okay, caller, go ahead. While Walter's gonna be calling back. Go ahead.
Yeah, how you doing, Mr. Tour? This is Elvis calling from Minnesota.
Elvis, I left your house. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm just happy. You know, for our
Of course, all Elvis need people who need Elvis, they're always happy.
Yeah, I'm just happy our president didn't faint this time around, so that's good news.
Oh, I'm good Elvis here.
Hello to you, hello to the panelists. Let me just say, look, I don't know what we expected from our president. You know, the people actually suffering. We saw what happened during the Christmas season. We saw what happened when school opened. People saw a tangible difference in the economic situation, which was that they couldn't afford to put their kids in school anymore. They couldn't buy their children Christmas present. This is something that they were lamenting on the president, that things are worse than when President Weah left office. So a man who is a habitual borrower, somebody who borrow money all the time, somebody who's been living on loans for many, many years after serving in public office for many years, made about $3 million in base salary when he was vice president. That a man that coming to town 5% growth, 50% GDP, all kind of nonsense they're telling us, when the Liberian people themselves know very much they saw a negative 15% in the economic prowess. So our president shouldn't insult the Liberian people intelligently. People know what they're feeling on the ground. They know that things are harder, tangibly harder now than it was when President Weah was there.
Thank you.
So I like when people who are intellects, trying to...
Hold on. Let me merge the other person, please, then you can finish your statement. Okay, Elvis, go ahead, wrap up so the next person can come in.
Yeah, just quickly. I like people who are intellect and educated, always trying to demean other people, Well, you have a president who's supposed to be smarter, a party who's supposed to be smarter. But the people who they're telling you that the people who are stupid than you, or who are not as intelligent as you are, they're better than you did. What does that tell you about yourself? So we don't want to hear that thing when people are talking about, the Mona Youngblood University, they're trying to demean sedition. It's an old trope. It's an old trope that will stay on the net. As long as this president keep performing dismally, we're telling you they can get there all they want, but we're telling you all the time. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you. All right, caller. The next caller. Okay, go ahead.
Hey, good evening, Mr. Tom. How you doing?
Not bad, Chief. How you doing?
I tried look for that link yesterday, but I couldn't get through. But thank God I'm through today.
Okay.
My contribution on the show tonight is that the president's later address yesterday to me was so brilliant. People are saying that why the president outlined everything, the progress that he was made, outline the income of feature what he did. And there are a lot of things. The president gave the overview of everything that they did in the year 2024. If you want for the president to go detail, listen to the agenda that they launched a week ago in Boston.
Right.
Everything concerning the president agenda, the nation already. So the president was giving an overview to the nation. But I'm so surprised that people, are deviating from A, they are saying that why they were not going in detail. And the second point I want to make, with the Liberia, especially those that live in the argue for Liberia, not too long. I don't care how the chicken is white, you will look at the chicken and say the chicken is looking brown. Because we're not favored there. And the individual who get a view, the people on the station, it's a rule of the game sometimes. You got to get a view of the people so that the government can listen to the situation that happened in the country. But the young men were not truthful. If you can compare China with Joseph Walker, most people in our country today, he said in the prison, they're talking about China was better than Joseph Walker. People don't believe in freedom. When you live in that kind of slavery mentality, you always have that kind of slavery mentality. If you use to live in abuse, you always appreciate abuse. So I don't think I don't let view is a view of the entire Liberia. There are some people who agree, and there are some people who disagree. But thank you for the show, Mr. Toll.
Thank you, Clarence. Appreciate that. Okay, folks, That will be the end of the phone call tonight. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. I think Mr. Nagbe is not on. So we'll start with, okay, Mr. Nagbe just came back, so let's give him the opportunity to wrap it. Mr. Nagbe, what will be your wrapping statement as we bid farewell tonight for the show?
Well, thank you very much, Libra. Thank you also to my colleagues. Good conversation tonight. Thank you also to the audience. I think they've been pretty interactive. Look, the running of a country is a serious matter, all right? I am not convinced that this president has risen to the challenge. You know, I have a lot of expectations of him. Chronologically, he's an elder statesman. Experientially, he's an elder statesman. He has all the tools required to run a smooth and an effective and efficient government. I am afraid I'm not seeing.
Now, wait, just hold on 1 minute. Let me make it 3P. There's another one here, the lion. Let's take his car. Becky, you're there with me. Because, yeah, please go ahead, lion. We're trying to make it 3P here. Brigable is not coming on, so let's hear from you.
Yeah, Mr. To, thank you very much for taking my call. You know, the people in studio there, they're trying to make this thing a debate, right? But the evidence are clear. You know, the old man not very careful. I think he will be labeled the grandfather of corruption and lies. You know, because he told a lot of lies yesterday. You know what I mean? You can't lie about the prices of rice. You can't lie about cybersecurity, 10,000 Liberian train.
Say, just disabuse you. Say, just disabuse you on that. You're still bringing it up, now.
No, but the man said 10,000 young Liberians were trained in cybersecurity. I don't know how much they're getting paid because it's a very this is a challenging area. Okay. You know, so he didn't even put a price tag to tell us how much they pay each of these. So I'm very disappointed. The educated people keep lying and keep trying to manipulate and keep trying to trick the Liberian people, and it shows.
But when you call, you even call your Neo, you call your Neo, and you tell where you calling from. Yeah, the sweet giant.
There's a zoo I'm calling from Fargo, North Dakota. This is Tobasi.
The sweet giant, heavy, big guy, big guy. Go ahead.
You know, so I think the job is kind of difficult for the poor man, and I think it's about time that Unity Party start looking somewhere different so that this country don't get disgraced or embarrassed. You know, because
but let me put you on the spot, Telly Giant. So who, if they old man leaves, who you think would come? Who should be coming to lead the country to a good position?
Yeah, I'm not going to be a consultant here for them because I will not get paid. But you know, I think they got a lot of smart guys in the. I mean, maybe a few of them in the party.
What party?
You know, I'm not talking about novice and people who don't understand international politics or don't even have the experience in terms of traveling outside of Africa and stuff like that. I don't think we want to put people like that into power.
So who do you want now? Who you think should come in? I'm trying to get something out of you. Who should come in?
You know, I don't want to be. I can't help Unity Party in the formation.
Who do you want to come in? You don't say we're not asking you to help Unity Party. Who do you want to come in?
Yeah, but I think the people we don't want coming in are people who have not traveled extensively and don't have international experience, or you know, we don't want.
CDC not coming by. Terry, you're right. This is a die-hard edition, and you can't come out and tell us that CDC coming back. CDC not coming back. Go ahead, my brother. Finish your statement. So we can
no, I'm talking about finishing the old man term because the old man took too many water breaks yesterday. I don't know. You were small fainting went on small. It was not big fainting, but you fainted small yesterday. And, you know, they had 2 fans blowing in and all kinds of things.
So I think somebody need to finish this game here. The old man cannot continue like this.
Thank you. Thank you, Tomasi. Thank you. Thank you, Tomasi. Appreciate it, Christopher.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Tom.
All right. The first time I saw the guy, I've been, acting with him here on this show for a very long time. And the first time I saw him in Farco, I'm like, what? You big like this? You can crumple me right now if you want. I don't even know who I can be arguing with, my man.
The next game.
He's a very sweet guy, very sweet. But go ahead and wrap it up so we can.
Yeah, let me learn quickly before I forget. Because OH. Shout out to the Sunshine Boys of Maryland County. I know Sister Pooh already out. So,
you going again?
Yeah, so tomorrow.
You already put me out.
I mean, Rufa out. So. Rufa in the league. Am I right?
But when you put me out, I'm feeling buying that trophy long time.
Anyway, I take that back. But shout out to the Yellow Boys, Sunshine Boys of Maryland County as they take on Granger tomorrow. We know we've already won that match. Also, shout out to my Philadelphia Eagles. I know the Vikings are out, so another hoop. So, but I was going to say, the president, I honestly didn't support him in this going election. Like I said, I supported the CPP candidate, the so-called 1%er. But the president won, and we know he is now our president. A lot of us are rooting for him to succeed. Because when he does, the country succeeds. More than that, his government is also a showcase for a lot of my colleagues. Most of the guys who are working with the president are people who and I grew up together, So this is also our time to shine. But, they're letting us down. And it is very, very, very surprising. It is disappointing. Even the lowest of low-hanging fruits, they can't seem to be able to plug it out. Look at what's happening in the Capitol building today again. Where is this thing going to end? The president's message, the whole judiciary boycotted that message yesterday. I know people are making light of it, but that was a serious statement. The judiciary were out yesterday. Today they go into chambers and they bodily take out a legislator. I'm not a fan of Yeke, but for God's sake, the man was elected. He represents a certain amount of people. He's an honorable person. There is a manner and form in which you will take the president out of the session or whatever. But almost all the legislators, including the security people, everybody got their hands on one person. It is not going to end. It will continue. And what this president doesn't understand is all of the yo-yo, all this chaos undermines his ability to run an efficient and a smooth functioning government. I will leave it there. We pray for them. It's already 1 year in. They got 5 years left. They have to quickly figure it out. I don't think they have. I mean, we listened to the message yesterday. I know there's some good things in it, but the rest of it is just,
Thank you. The question I have for you is, why do you always gravitate towards negative part of you live in New Jersey or New York area, but you're coming down south to Philadelphia? That negative.
I live in South Jersey, and
they still you live even if you live in South Jersey, but Philadelphia is south of you.
I am closer to Philadelphia.
It's still negative.
So
you're still going down. Let's hear from you, Terry.
Okay, it was a great show. Yeah. First of all, the speech was not meant for rhetoric. President did not go to give a speech to pretend as if to say he have achieved greatly. I listened to some colleagues saying, oh, the president didn't say this, the president didn't say that, the president didn't talk about creating jobs, availability, and all of that. The president did not go to commit to rhetoric. All right? The speech, to entice the audience, neither was the speech meant to lie to the public concerning great achievement that wasn't achieved. So those some of the things the president did not say, it means he was not able to accomplish. So he was honest enough to bring you a speech that would address key sectors over the period of 1 year, given the fact that we have a low budget that is not able to propel our state into the trajectory we all expect. Liberia, like I said today to somebody, that Liberia does not need growth. Liberia needs progress. And what I mean by that is that after 200, almost 200 years of independence, you have grown. Every human being have a certain length to grow at. Once you are a human being, maybe some people 25, some people 22, at a certain age, you stop growth. So Liberia have reached to the place where growth is not our priority. What we need to be working on is expansion, progress. We need to progress. And we do have people that can make us progress, but our inability to progress is the ability to denigrate what we have as we have grown to the stage that we are at. That's the reason why we have found it difficult to progress, because we have too many people who have overgrown to an extent that we are not willing to make progress, but we still want to be in a cycle going back. If you sit down and listen to people telling you about how they want to go back to Georgia, that alone tells you that people, people have a psychological default. Even if President Barker failed, you get 5 million people in the country. Nobody else there that job we are government you won't go back to. A president, what he know almost all the rights of her citizen over the period of time. Levin went to go watch soccer game for almost 47 days. Within 1 year, 6 months, he was building condominiums for himself. Never care about the people and all of that. Did not speak to the people, did not address the issue. I hear people talking about the president or talking for the president. The man is in act. He talk for when president, we are last speech. You listen to him, you listen to what he said, you listen to the amount of time he talked for. You went to check how long he spoke for. All the chopping. You ever saw the speech? Did you see the speech, President? Did you talk about it? You didn't talk about it. You come here to listen to a sound speech with all error. We don't have too much grammatical error in our speech. For you to critique it, at least you say, oh, the man say nothing. The man say nothing because you're not listening. Like the guy who just called and since he was talking, the president did not make mention of cyber security. But because you heard it from somewhere, you are too lazy to read the speech. That will talk about progress. You have grown, but you don't know how to progress. You lazy to read a speech. So you running with a tabata that's edition carrying. Oh yeah, the president talk about cyber. So every platform now you go on, you will call. Yeah, why the president? Just to weaken your own spirit. Meanwhile, the legislative function of the president have been initiated, whether you like it or not, how you take it or not, what you talk about, for the virtue of the fact that you are even discussing it for the whole entire week, shows that it is important. So, Labor, I want to rest on this note, to say that Liberia is all we have. We either do it well and realize, like the issue of Yeke today, Mr. Nangbe, even on the show, if I just jump up and start to act disorderly, Labor will either put me in the back or he will remove me from the show. Yeke premeditated what he was going to do. And in that house, there are rules and regulations. If your colleagues are telling you to stop, the honorable thing is to stop. Your colleagues went to you and told you, say, address this man as speaker. You say, no. What you go do there? If you're not prepared to address the man as speaker, what you go do there? But what? Simple as that. I felt sorry for the way they treated Yeke, but equally so, Yeke also prepared himself for the way he was treated. Because in any environment, there are rules and regulations. You can't come in the imam house. What I struggle to get, you tell me, say, oh, my arm stink. How who running the place? You say, oh, honor my arm smelling. No. The people say address the man as speaker. The honorable thing you can do, either address the presiding as speaker or you get out of the place. Thank you very much, Labor.
Thank you. But before I go to Stacey, let me just say this here, Terry, quickly. I think Yeke got exactly what he wanted. Because Yeke is not a lazy guy. If he wanted to put on a fight, he would have done so, but he wanted to be thrown out. He wanted to be, yeah, okay, Jerry, we'll come to you. You're closer for us. He wanted to get thrown out so that he would get the kind of result he's getting right now. Yeke was not there to put a fight. Yeke was not there to say, no, I don't want to go out. Yeke wanted to be thrown out. Let me come to you, Sissy. Go ahead. Give us your closing, bro.
Yeah, you know, it's funny how somebody need to mute themselves. It's funny how people will refer to the president of the republic as old and lazy and all the insulting languages they can find. But the minute you question their ability to think, now you're making it a feedback. Y'all the one went and built a school on a property you didn't own, and you made Muna Young Blood Training Vocational Center. That be better there. And y'all say it was meant to empower citizens. And you ain't graduate more than 2 classes all the time, you were in power. So how one of my fault when I just talking about the university that you built? Right? Look, Terry struck a point, and I want to go to really emphasize on that. The academic laziness. It's a virus, and I'm hoping that the president can declare that as a national pandemic that we need to fight. The president in his speech, that's what I want to highlight, talked about launching a $75 million foundational learning project with USIP, focusing on reading and math at the 3rd grade. That's where we need to start. Because you got people here who didn't even take the time to read the speech. It's just almost like somebody gave you food, you just eat it. Whether you are elected to it or not, you don't care.
But when I come to your house, when you cough, I will say, let me check my doctor first. I beg you.
Wait, you wanted to start from 3rd grade, sister? You really need that? You wanted to start from 3rd grade?
No.
You're taking that because that why is available?
No, they're starting from 3rd grade because they're looking at early childhood growth. But the problem here is that that's the academic laziness we're talking about. Can't talk about it all day. You can't choking. You dance around it. Hey, brother, we're all even checking it. They just swallow the whole thing whole and throw. You can't do that. Look, we're talking about they're saying that the president lied, right? My brother said 15% of the people purchasing power went up by 15%. When you ask them where they get the data from, they can never tell you. But yet he wants to come here and question, people who are smart and sit on the platform. Yeah, we will always say that. We'll always push back on your lies. What we expected was a CDC rebuttal or an opposition rebuttal with data and facts. You can't just say 99% where the men start our lying and we just believe you run away with been 15% of it. Whereby you're the simple like your data that say that you want election and the data ain't missing. Right? You're the simple person want to say, check come on thing to read. The main say cybersecurity or run your own. I mean, check how many pages is that thing for you to read? Even if you read one sentence every morning, we'll wait for you. When we get in July, you tell what you read, right? So for me, it is okay to critique whether the president, what he's saying is actual or not. Come up with a critique, but don't just make us to say we just want to believe it, right? Without anything, just say, everything the president thought a lie. Mind you, these are the same people that said that the president had battery in his heart, he would die before election. Check, president died before election. They said the president went with PYJ and he dancing with the devil. PYJ that devil not new. The same PYJ man have received some money from our CPP people before, and he had danced with Joey before, but he was not there at the time. Check. They said when the men win election, PYJ then will be running with the government with JK and blah 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 blah. But they're still living. They say Kun was silent, man. The simple to come out and say Papa silent Kun. There's some people say the man not even get to the State of the Union address. Papa delivered one yesterday. Then you talking about the man not finished his term. How you keep moving the one goalpost? The Papa keep jumping where like Koga jumping where print doesn't buy it. Until and unless you get to a point you want to be serious to critique this government, you'll be having child's play. Come up with issues that we know the government is not doing right. Let's think about it. To talk about the Supreme Court, not showing up to the SONA, or not recognizing the speakership of Kun. Here's the problem: the Supreme Court sent members from the offices to go to the budget hearing that was passed by the Kun on a Kun gavel. They're receiving the allotment that was passed in the budget on a Kun's gavel. Yeka called by receiving your money that was passed under the gavel of Rachel Kuhn. In fact, for nothing Kofa getting his money as representative instantly by it that was passed under the gavel of Rachel Kuhn. So where is the protest? Where is the protest?
Thank you. Thank you. Let's go to you, Jerry.
Tell them to put the money back. Tell them to
You know what?
The budget got nothing to do with all that, but we went through that. I will come for you tomorrow. Let's hear Jerry.
Susie, you made my night, you know. But you suffocate my brother Nambe tonight, so you know he can go to bed because everything you said. Why else can I add that? Well, I mean, I got nothing else to add. If I say anything, it will be returned. So thank you. Have a good night, my man. I will send you some aspirin so you can no headache for you tonight, Mr. Nambe. Good night. Have a sweet dream.
Between me and Mr. Nango, the man for that for me the last time waiting for you.
No, listen. I got a lot to say, but why listen, if I can come right now, you talk about Judah. For 1979, someone was probably here about Judah. Where Judah? Look, Judah ain't got good repetition, so I don't even want to go there tonight because.
So this coming April, we're going to break ground for a multi-purpose.
Look, Judah for the time I was there.
Let's listen. Let's hear what Nambe said. Nambe, what you say?
No. I did Jersey, you were done. So this coming April,
give me the opportunity.
This coming April, we're bringing ground.
If he says you're going to talk to me, I'll have the opportunity to rebut. That's what I'm going to say. Oh, Mr. Zizit, thank you so much tonight. I give it to you. Tomorrow we'll be here. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Number what you say you are breaking ground for what?
Yeah, this coming April will be in Monrovia. We're breaking ground for a multi-purpose complex.
I want to be that job. We are who broke ground until we got airquay Liberian and today we never have
So y'all do the singing like Leo did, right?
Initially, but we're tweaking it a little bit because our plan was Leo. He did a good job.
Oh, Mr. Bacon, you gone? I wanted you to send that book in the chat, man, so I can order it on Amazon. Some of that book you show me, Mr. Bacon. He gone,
Yeah.
This complex will house, recreational facility, sports and all of that. After school.
Is it Yula, Mr. Nambe? Is it Yula?
This is Yula, yes.
On the same property that was purchased under the last, I think, Kumni administration?
I think that was purchased, if I'm not mistaken, in Kakata. I think this one is this one I think is in the Virginia.
So did we abandon our property in Kakata?
I'm not sure exactly the state of that, but it would seem that way.
Okay, you guys not paying any money to LPR. We're not going to discuss you
asked me.
You want to say on that different issue. So the promotional
the boat chair, you have to get it.
I know, right? The boat chair who can be fired by CEO.
You must take your cash out. Anyway, you're good night. I gotta go get
good night, guys. Good night to all of you. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you. Nabe, thank you very much. Say thank you, Terry. Thank you very much, folks. Again, Samson told Labrador Public we're way over time here. Thanks to the CEO for permitting us to go over. I want to thank all of you. Walter Carter, Madam Esther, thank you. Tobasi, thank you very much. Doe, Clarence, I want to thank all of you tonight for joining us. We appreciate all of you that have been making comment here. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. And we'll say good night to all of you. Let's meet tomorrow on Mr. Social, where we will be given another opportunity to express ourselves. Good night, folks.
Thank you.